Friends, welcome back to the Lori Show. I'm Lori, your positivity princess, self-appointed of course. I'm here teaching you how to see the world through rosy colored glasses, one video at a time. You're in the right place if you want to embrace utter positivity, tap into your inner power, and create the life of your dreams. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe and tap that bell notification so you do not miss your next weekly dose of positivity. Now I'm going to do a quick little shout out to the 60-day happiness challenge. It runs all the way until March 20th, where it will conclude, and 3 lucky winners will get a copy of my brand new book coming out on that same day. That day is important and special because it is World Happiness Day, and my book is all about happiness. It's called 30 Days to a Happier You, and it's designed to help just about anyone to bring a happier... It's designed to help just about anyone create a happier life. It's all about you making very deliberate intentions about what you want to see in your life, and then taking really, really practical steps in order to get there. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that's kind of important, and it's not the easiest thing to talk about because it's not an easy thing to do. And we know we all have habits. We all have things that we do that are not helpful to us on a mental level, on a physical level, on a psychological level, on a social level. We all do things that are habitual in nature. And by habitual, I mean things that we do more automatically without thinking about it, without considering the consequences, without having planned to do these things in the first place. In this video, what I want to do is bring to your attention this idea of living in an intentional way in order to create a life that's different from the one that you have. In order to do this, I'm going to talk about 3 things. First of all, I would like to bring your attention to the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Secondly, I would like to bring your attention to another book, just by coincidence. It's called The Last Law of Attraction Book You Need to Read by Andrew Kapp. And lastly, I'd like to bring your attention to an idea that is very popular these days of having a gratitude journal. And I know you're going to roll your eyes and say, another gratitude journal. Okay, I'm not selling anything. I'm going to recommend a few that you could purchase, but at the same time, anything would work. Any kind of book, any kind of journal, and even just on your phone. I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay, so here goes. I did a very short video about this book, about Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I gave you 3 steps in order to follow this. And I'm not going to minimize the importance of what he's saying in its long form. I'm going to suggest if you have trouble kind of focusing and kind of sitting down and really taking in the information in a meaningful way, I'm going to highly recommend you listen to it as an audiobook. Okay, you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Audible, you can find it even probably on YouTube. There's probably some audio versions of it, but it is worth getting and it's worth looking at, especially the visuals that are in the book. And I'm going to show you a couple of images, but I also want to reiterate the importance of the idea that I go back to this book all the time. I go and I look at the images. I highlighted certain, passages and parts that are really helpful to me, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do the same thing. Another thing I wanted to point out is if you don't have a lot of time and you keep getting recommended books to read, there is another app called, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, it's called Headway. I don't know if you can see the, I'm going to show you guys, you can't see the little emoji. Okay, I'll just put it on the screen. Okay, so it's called Headway, and what it does is it takes a book and it minimizes it into 12 or 13 minutes of an audio or even something you can read visually, okay? So if you only have a little bit of time, it lets you get the content but without all the filler and the fluff. Now, with a book like this, a lot of it's not filler or fluff. It's very, hands-on, important details that you want to know. But in Headway, they do have a version of it, so if you would like to get your hands on that, I would recommend that app to you. Okay, and I'll put a link as well for that. Okay, so breaking the habit of being yourself, 3 steps. The first one is to really pay attention to where you are in your life and what you're doing on a regular basis, because those thoughts, feelings, actions, and habits are what are creating your life. And it's a loop. It's a process, and it has feedback involved. And whatever you're doing in each step is leading to the next and leading you back in a cycle. And a cycle means, and generally speaking, a cycle continues as is indefinitely. It is closed loop. And until you have intervention from the outside or from the inside, which is still the outside of that cycle or loop, you're not going to change. You're not. Just like, cliche as it is, or touche as it is, Einstein's quote of, doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results being the definition of insanity. Not even sure if he said that, but it's true, is it not? Doing the same thing, hanging out with the same people, using the same words and vocabulary, having the same negative thoughts about yourself over and over, and truly believing that you're stuck. That is the most dangerous thing you can do. So what I want you to do is remember that the first step is to pay attention to what you're doing and the fact that your current life is a result of that. The thoughts in your head, the feelings that are a result of those thoughts, and the actions that you take or don't take are creating your life. The actions, if we go back to that you are taking over and over again, repeatedly, day in and day out, those are your habits. That is the habit that we're trying to break of being yourself. Now, what do we mean by breaking the habit of being yourself? I mean, aren't we supposed to embrace being ourselves? Aren't we supposed to love ourselves? Isn't that what we say as, these gurus, these, self-help? Yeah, your true, authentic, highest version of yourself that is being the real you. Are you being the real you by being sad every day? Are you being the real you by repeating the same habits that are hurting you? Every time you go back and eat those, the whole bag of chips in the evening when you feel a little bit empty and feel guilty as hell about it the next day or even right after you ate it, that is not a healthy thing to be doing. And that's not the real you at all. When you are in a relationship that is toxic and it's hurting you and you keep on putting up with it or even attracting someone similar in the future, that's not the real you. The real you knows that that is not healthy and that you need to stop codepending on another person for anything, really. You don't need another person for anything. Having them in your life would be wonderful and is wonderful when it's working, but you don't need them when it's toxic. So step 1 is really paying attention to the way things are. Step 2 is deciding the way you really want to see them. And what you're going to do in step 3 is meditate on it. So in step 2, when you've decided what it is you want to see in your life, as opposed to what is there, in step 2, when you have decided what you want your life to look like, a really great step at this point would be to script or at least make a list of what you want to see in your life. Describe it. What does it look like? What are you doing in your life? What does your day-to-day life look like? What is your new habit that you're going to form as opposed to the old habit? What is the old thought that you used to have that you're going to replace with a new, positive, uplifting, good thought that's going to have better results in your life? Step 3 is where you're going to take these things and you're going to put it into a meditation. And I have a worksheet that I've put together that will help you to take these things that you want to do and make it into your own meditation. And by meditation, all this means is that you're going to close your eyes and you're going to repeat certain phrases to yourself that you would like to see appear as your reality. Okay? It's positive affirmations. It's reprogramming your subconscious mind to expect good things, not the same old garbage. You don't need to expect that anymore. It's not going to be your reality anymore. Your reality is going to be anything you desire. You don't seem to understand the power of your subconscious mind, the power of your imagination. Okay, the second part of this video that I mentioned was a book called The Last Law of Attraction book you need to read. And it's by Andrew Kapp, and I talk about this book all the time, and I'll just show you a little visual here. I lent it to my mom, that's why I don't have it here. I lend it whenever I can to anyone who wants to borrow it. And I also recommend to them to buy it as well, because it's another one of those kind of law of attraction Bible style books that you want to go back to and take a look at. I really like that Andrew breaks down his book into three different types of law of attraction exercises, and he wants to reiterate to you to use one every single day. So there's this idea of using gratitude, there's this idea of using visualization or scripting, and then there's the last one, which is the second one is scripting, and the third one is visualization. And all of these methods are seamless, but they don't work for everyone. Like, what I mean is, something works for everyone, but you got to find what works for you. It reminds me of when a person is, not doing well mentally, so their doctor puts them on medication, and sometimes the first couple of medications you try as an antidepressant doesn't really work for you, or it's not ideal for you, or there's side effects, and you try something else. And there's no shame in that. It's a little bit of trial and error, and you know what? You find what works for you. It shouldn't feel like work. It shouldn't feel stressful. It should just feel like this is what I'm doing and I'm happy to do it. Because I know that there's going to be positive results from this. And that I know, that's Lisa Nichols, who said that in the audio version of The Secret by Rhonda Burns. You got to check that out as well. It's another really good one. Okay, so please go check out Andrew Kapp's book. It has very, very clear, honest understanding and explanation of the law of attraction. He's got a really good YouTube channel as well with very good methods, even some that are not in the book. And you have nothing to lose but to check it out and try even one of those methods. Lastly, I was going to mention this idea of doing a gratitude journal, and here's mine. And I'll be honest with you, I go through ebbs and flows with gratitude journals, and I want to point out the importance of the idea that journaling every day, journaling itself, is the usefulness of this practice is understated. And I know that as a teacher, right now I'm a chaplain, but as a teacher, I would have my students journal every single day. And I would tell them they don't even have to use full sentences. Just get the ideas, just get the words out of their head onto the page. Free association, pure Freudian method of just spilling your brain out onto the paper. So therapeutic. Talking about something and getting out of your head is unloading it. It's taking off of your back, out of your backpack, and it is giving it to the universe in order to start solving it for you. It's also setting intentions. It's also helping you to see what is rational about my thoughts and what isn't. Once I put it on the paper and then I look at it, I can say, why did I say that about myself? Why did I think that person said this or did that? Why did this happen? And then I can analyze it on a level that's a little bit different, a little bit more introspective, if you will. Okay, so this book here, I got this from the dollar store, Dollarama, and I think I got it for Christmas. And I really like it because it has a nice little explanation about gratitude, and it has, reverse bucket list. It has people in your life that you can be grateful for, and it has little quotes, very cute. And the reason I'm showing you this is that I'm going to put a few recommendations of some really, really good gratitude journal style books that you can get. And they're not all made equal. And this is another one of those things where to each his own, and you've got to try a few different things. You can try different pens. You can try different colors, different styles, different fonts. And the fact that I said you can type it out, you can do it on your phone, you can, these are things you can do, but I really, really feel putting pen to paper, there's a whole different energy to it. And, that's what works for me. And I have ADHD. I'm pretty vocal about that. But one of the things that I find very helpful is to take the pen to the paper and really write down what I'm grateful for. And I'm going to share with you really quickly, one of my entries. This is from January. I didn't even put the date. This is from January 9th. Okay, so number 1, I'm happy and grateful for the love and support from so many people that love me. Number 2, I'm happy and grateful for my health, wealth, abundance, passion, and joy. and I'm happy and grateful. Number 3 is the ability to support others, and especially my boys. So it's very, very non-specific. That was very general. But on the 11th, I wrote, I'm grateful for baccalà for dinner, because I absolutely love Italian baccalà. Number 2 is Saturday with freedom to do what I want. And number 3 is success and fun in my life. Again, one of them is very specific and 2 of them are not. And some of them can be based on, experiences of the senses. So things I enjoy eating or not everything has to be the most profound thing you've ever written. Gratitude is about seeing what's there, not what isn't. It's noticing the abundance in your life. It's noticing the presence of the good. And when you go from lack into abundance, you do feel a shift. It is a different universe. It's a different experience. It's a different entire reality for you. That's the reality shifting we're talking about. That's the quantum leap. When we talk about a quantum leap, it doesn't mean you're going to sense or feel yourself flying through the air, quantumly speaking, in some weird, spaceship. You're not. It's mental. It's psychological. It is on a soul level that you will upgrade yourself to this other version of you that expects good. And when you stop having negative thoughts of what's not there, when you stop noticing what's not there, when you change the things you look at change. That's Wayne Dyer. And I think I put that in a video recently. But it's very profound. It is. It's all about focus. Your brain has something in it called the reticular activating system. And what it does is it causes you, when you are paying attention to something, it causes you to notice that more and more and more. And I know you've noticed this, the whole idea of looking for a purple car out on the road. The idea of certain names that you notice, or, angel numbers, 333, 444. You notice these things more and more when you're paying attention to them. And, is it because you're looking for it? No. The observer effect says when you are looking for it, it doesn't come. The things that do come to you are meant for you. Pay attention. Okay. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, for watching this video, and for coming and staying to the end. Please click subscribe if you haven't yet. It means so much to me if you do. Click the like button, comment as well. What was your favorite part of this video? What was your takeaway? Was there any questions that you have for me? I am very, very interested in starting a coaching business, a law of attraction coaching business, and helping people to manifest the life of their dreams and to reprogram their subconscious mind. I have a very good understanding of it, and as much as you might live in some fear of the idea of investing in yourself, it's absolutely worth it. And my first session is free. Okay, so please, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is in the description. Okay, I love you. Have the most wonderful day. And I hope you keep seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. I love you.